Edo Tensei. Let's kick things off with a jutsu that literally breaks the laws of life and death. Edo Tensei, or Reanimation Jutsu. This one came straight from the genius brain of Tobirama Senju. And let's be honest, Tobirama had a real talent for inventing dangerous stuff. I mean, he didn't just give us Shadow Clone and Flying Raijin, he also gave us this walking disaster. Edo Tensei works like this. You dig up someone's DNA, find a living body, perform the ritual, and bam, you've got yourself a zombie ninja. But not the slow moaning kind. No, these are fully conscious, immortal warriors. They don't bleed, they don't feel pain, and worst of all, they don't stop until you force them to. This jutsu hit peak horror during the Fourth Great Ninja War, when Kabuto went full maniac mode and summoned dozens of legendary shinobi. We're talking Madara, Itachi, and even the previous Kage. The allied shinobi forces were basically told, here's your worst nightmares. Again, good luck. The scary part? The technique doesn't care about your consent. You could be chilling in the afterlife, and next thing you know, boom, you're back, fighting your grandkids. What's wild is that it took Itachi from beyond the grave to stop the madness. He literally broke the jutsu using Kotomatsukami and shut it down. That's when we realized. Edo Tensei is only as terrifying as the people you summon. It's not just the jutsu, it's who you bring back. Honestly, this technique is like the ultimate Uno reverse card. You die? Don't worry, someone might just bring you back and force you into another war. Thanks, Tobirama.
Now, if you've made it this far, welcome to the amazing world of anime. This is the place for true fans like you, where we celebrate all the magic, action, and emotions anime brings to our lives. You've watched, you've felt the hype, you've been lost in these beautiful fantasy worlds, but, have you hit that subscribe button yet? Right now, almost 90% of you are watching without subscribing. Just imagine, if everyone hit sub, we could build one of the strongest anime communities out there. So, go ahead, click that subscribe button right now, so you won't miss any new episodes, deep dive breakdowns, or awesome anime content coming your way. Thank you so much. Now next on the list, just a little bit higher, is
Fushi Tensei. Now let's talk about something even more disturbing. Fushi Tensei, aka the living corpse reincarnation. This is Orochimaru's twisted idea of achieving immortality, and trust me, it's as creepy as it sounds. The idea? Every few years, Orochimaru picks a fresh, healthy body, rips out its soul, and moves in like he's renting an apartment. No lease, no warning, just straight-up body hijacking. It's like musical chairs, but with organs. He needs 3 years between each transfer. That's the cooldown. And during that time, he plans, experiments, and stares at teenage ninjas like Sasuke with unsettling eyes. With help from Kabuto and funding from the Akatsuki, Orochimaru turned himself into a literal snake-shaped parasite that keeps slithering into new bodies. But of course, karma exists, even in Naruto. During his fight with Itachi, Orochimaru got too cocky. He tried to pop out mid-battle and got slapped back inside by the Tatsuka Blade, never to be seen again. Until he was. Because Orochimaru never really dies. He's the anime equivalent of a virus with bad fashion sense. Susanoo and Tatsuka Blade. Time for one of the most iconic jutsu flexes in the whole series. Itachi's Susanoo, equipped with the legendary Tatsuka Blade. This isn't just a chakra titan, it's a walking god of war, with a one-hit KO weapon. Susanoo is already insane. You summon a massive warrior made entirely of chakra, and it can tank hits from practically anything. But when Itachi activated his, it came with extra toppings. The Yata Mirror, which blocks all attacks, and the Tatsuka Blade, which seals anything it touches into an eternal genjutsu. That's right, no bleeding, no screaming, just poof, and you're gone, forever. That's how Orochimaru got sealed when he tried to sneak into Itachi's fight with Sasuke. One swing, and Orochimaru was packed up like leftovers. What's even crazier is that this wasn't even Itachi at full health. He was half blind, coughing blood, and still made everyone else look like background characters. The Tatsuka Blade is one of the few weapons in the Naruto universe that has 0 known counters. And since it's tied to Itachi's Susanoo, you're not getting anywhere near it unless he lets you. Spoiler, he won't. Earth Grudge Fear. Let's take a moment to appreciate one of the weirdest jutsu in the entire Naruto world. Earth Grudge Fear. A jutsu that's basically Kakuzu saying, why settle for one heart when you can have 5? Now, Kakuzu isn't your average shinobi. He's a walking organ donor who keeps the organs. Using this forbidden jutsu, he literally steals hearts from other ninja and stitches them into his own body using creepy black tendrils. Each heart gives him an extra life and a different chakra nature. So technically, killing Kakuzu once means nothing. You've got to do it 5 times. This is how he managed to survive from the first Hokage's era all the way to the 5th. That's nearly a century of not paying rent. Instead, he became a bounty hunter, chasing money, killing targets, and occasionally murdering his teammates when they annoyed him. Honestly, this technique is terrifying, but also very Kakuzu. It fits his no-nonsense, profit-over-principle personality. No flashy moves, no emotion. Just efficient violence and extra insurance policies stuffed into his chest. Earth Grudge Fear doesn't scale well against the true monsters of the shinobi world. Once you meet someone like Naruto with a Rasen Shuriken or a Shadow Clone spam problem, 5 hearts start popping like balloons. Spirit Transformation Technique. Next up is a jutsu that's strong, rare, and soaked in emotion. Spirit Transformation Technique, used by none other than Dankado, Tsunade's lover and emotional scar that never quite healed. This technique lets the user send their spiritual energy out of their body to possess someone else. Think of it as the overpowered version of the Yamanaka clan's mind transfer jutsu, but it doesn't need line of sight or physical contact, just vibes. Dangerous, chakra-powered vibes. Dan only used this ability once, during the 4th Great Ninja War, and even then, he was already dead. After being brought back by Edo Tensei, he somehow regained control for a brief moment and used this jutsu to save Tsunade, who was on the verge of being turned into paste by Madara. He sacrificed the last of his spiritual energy to push her out of danger. It's poetic that a man who once dreamed of protecting the village through strength ended up protecting the love of his life instead, with nothing but his spirit. Yeah, this one's powerful, but it hits right in the feels too. Shinagami Sealing Technique. Now let's dive into a jutsu that makes every other sealing technique look like child's play. The Shinagami Sealing Technique, also known as the Reaper Death Seal. You summon the literal god of death to do your dirty work. Sounds intense? It is. Here's how it works. You perform the ritual, the Shinagami shows up, invisible to everyone but you, and it grabs your target's soul, and yours. Both of you get sealed away inside the Reaper's belly forever. There's no comeback, no resurrection, no ghost DLC. You're done. This is the move Minato used to seal half of Kurama inside Naruto. It's the technique Hiruzen Sarutobi used to stop Orochimaru by sealing away his arms. And fun fact, it's also how Orochimaru later undid the seal to bring back the Hokage. Because of course he did. This jutsu represents the ultimate sacrifice. You use it knowing full well you'll die. That's what makes it so noble and so terrifying. The price is always your life, and you can't negotiate with the Shinagami. No refunds, no extensions. Adamantine Sealing Chains. Alright, let's talk about a sealing jutsu that doesn't mess around. Adamantine Sealing Chains, used by Kushina Uzumaki. Now, you might think Kushina was just Naruto's mom and a loving wife, but she was also a walking nightmare for tailed beasts. This jutsu turns her chakra into massive chains, not for decoration, but for domination. These chains can pin down even the mighty Ninetales, absorb chakra, and completely shut down a Bijuu's rage mode like pressing Ctrl+Alt+Delete on a rampaging monster. Kushina used this jutsu during the night of Naruto's birth, when Obito pulled a surprise party by unleashing Kurama on the Hidden Leaf. While Minato was out here teleporting nukes, Kushina stepped in and chained down the Ninetales like it was just another tantrum from her son. The crazy part? She did this while half dead, with the Ninetales literally ripped out of her, and she still held it down. That's Uzumaki genetics at work. This technique is incredibly rare. Not every Uzumaki could use it, and those who could were basically living seal factories. It's one of the reasons the Uzumaki clan got targeted and wiped out. Too good at sealing, too dangerous to keep around. Reverse 4 symbols sealing. Danzo Shimura, the man, the myth, the walking contradiction. And his final act? The reverse 4 symbols sealing technique. It sounds epic, right? Like some kind of drag everything to the underworld kind of move. And technically, it is. But also, not really. Here's the deal. When Danzo dies, this seal automatically activates. It starts as a bunch of marks on his chest, then rapidly expands into a deadly trap meant to suck in anyone nearby into eternal darkness. Imagine a ninja version of a "you're coming with me" button. The idea is solid. If you're going down, at least drag your enemies with you. Very dramatic. Very Danzo. But here's the problem. You can just walk away. That's it. No complex counters. No jutsu clash. Just take a step back. That's exactly what Sasuke and Obito did. Danzo activated his big finale, and they just casually moved out of the blast zone like, yeah, no thanks. So while the technique sounds terrifying, it turned out to be more bark than bite. It's like bringing a nuclear bomb to a duel, but dropping it in a wide open field while everyone else has teleportation or speed hacks. Kieran. This technique is absolutely wild. It's not your typical lightning jutsu where you send chakra out of your hand. No. Sasuke manipulates the weather, heats up the air with fire style, creates storm clouds, and then summons a real bolt of lightning to strike his enemy from the sky. No chakra cost, no delay. Just instant natural lightning that hits at 300,000 km/h. If you get caught in this, you don't block. You just cease to exist. Sasuke pulled this out during his fight with Itachi, and honestly, it should have ended the battle. Itachi was down, the Thunder Dragon was up, and boom, Kieran roared down like a divine punishment. But then Itachi said, nah, and pulled out Susanoo, blocking the whole thing like it was a mosquito. Honestly, disrespectful. That was Sasuke's moment. The main drawback of Kieran is that it needs the perfect weather setup. No clouds, no show. That's why Sasuke had to literally cook the sky before using it. It's powerful, yes, but you can't rely on it mid-fight unless you've got fire style on standby and enough time to prep the whole sky. Tailed Beast Bomb. And now we arrive at the ultimate flex of chakra beasts, the Tailed Beast Bomb. Each Biju, from Shukaku to Kurama, can form this massive black orb of concentrated chakra by mixing positive and negative energies, like some kind of deadly chemistry experiment. When launched, it causes total annihilation. Mountains disappear. Forests evaporate. Villages don't exist anymore. Simple. But then comes the 10 Tails, the final boss of tailed beasts, who shows up and says, "That's cute. Here's my city-leveling bomb." The scale of destruction jumps from uh-oh to where'd the continent go? During the Fourth Great Ninja War, the Allied shinobi forces were desperately trying to survive as the 10 Tails started launching these bombs like candy. You'd see shinobi running for their lives while the entire battlefield went full apocalypse mode. What makes this jutsu terrifying is its simplicity. No hand seals, no warning, just pure destruction. The only catch? You need to be a tailed beast or a Jinchuriki to use it. So yeah, it's not something you'll find in the average ninja handbook. Rosengon. Let's be real. Rosengon might be the most overused jutsu in Naruto, but it still slaps every single time. Originally created by Minato Namikaze, this technique became Naruto's signature move, and for good reason. It's a swirling ball of pure chakra that fits neatly in your hand and into your enemy's face. What makes Rasengan so dangerous isn't just the impact, it's the grind. It spins so fast, it tears through the target like a blender set to destroy. But Naruto didn't stop there. This man turned Rasengan into a whole family tree of destruction. We got Odama Rasengan, Rasen Rengan, Rasen Barrage, Rasen Shuriken, and yes, even planet-sized Rasengan, because why not? Naruto spammed this jutsu from Pain to Sasuke and somehow made every version feel epic. And let's not forget, He learned it without hand seals, just vibes, clones, and sheer determination. Rosengon isn't flashy like Kieran or broken like Susanoo, but it's a perfect symbol of Naruto himself. Simple, direct, and always evolving. Plus, there's something satisfying about watching a big bad villain get decked in the jaw by a glowing energy ball the size of a grapefruit. Water Prison Shark Dance Technique. If you thought you were safe on land, think again. Kisame Hoshigaki, aka the tailless-tailed beast, decided water should be everyone's worst nightmare with his ultimate move, Water Prison Shark Dance Technique. This jutsu floods the battlefield, creating a giant sphere of water that traps both Kisame and his enemy inside. Think underwater battle royale, except one guy can breathe and the other is frantically swimming while getting chakra sucked by a shark man. Kisame combined this jutsu with Samahata, the chakra-hungry sword, and basically became a swimming nuke. Against Killer Bee, a Jinchuriki, Kisame pushed him to the edge, and that was just a clone. Let that sink in. Once you're in, you're done, unless you're faster than water or can teleport. And yeah, Kisame was so comfortable underwater, he might as well have been a fish with a criminal record. No wonder even tailed beasts took him seriously. Rene Rebirth. Now we're stepping into divine territory. Rene Rebirth, the holy grail of the Rinnegan. If Edo Tensei plays with death, this jutsu reverses it. With Rene Rebirth, you can bring someone back from the dead, fully intact, not zombified. No strings attached, no side effects for the resurrected. The only problem? The user dies. Nagato used this after his battle with Naruto. After leveling the entire Hidden Leaf village, he had a change of heart, probably triggered by Naruto's classic Talk no Jutsu, TM, and decided to undo all the damage. Boom, an entire village came back to life, and Nagato died with a smile. Redemption arc complete. Later, Obito used this same jutsu to bring back Madara, and I think we all wish he hadn't. Because what came next was Madara going, "Thank you for your service," and immediately breaking the world. 8 gates. And now, let's talk about the most jaw-dropping, bone-shattering, heart-pounding technique in the whole series, the 8 inner gates. Specifically, the 8th gate, the Gate of Death. Only 2 people ever use this jutsu to its full potential. Might Dai, the OG underdog, and Might Guy, the green beast himself. The concept? Your body has gates that restrict chakra flow. Open one, more power. Open all 8, you turn into a force of nature, and then you die. Guy opened all 8 gates during the war to fight Six Paths Madara. And for a glorious few moments, Guy was winning. He moved so fast, his punches bent space. His final move, Night Guy, literally crushed Madara's ribs. And this was Madara with god-level power. That's not a punch. That's a statement. Madara even said, "You almost killed me." And Madara doesn't praise anyone. Guy's body was cooked from the inside out. His muscles tore, bones shattered, and his life force was burning away with every second. If Naruto hadn't stepped in with some Six Paths healing magic, Guy would have died right there, a hero, but a gone one. The 8 gates are the pinnacle of taijutsu. No genjutsu, no ninjutsu. Just pure fists, legs, and unshakable will. And if you ask me, that makes it one of the most raw, emotional, and beautifully tragic jutsu in all of Naruto. Flying Thunder God. You know a jutsu is broken when people stop calling you by your name and start calling you the Yellow Flash. That's Minato Namikaze and his legendary technique, Flying Thunder God Jutsu. Originally developed by Tobirama Senju, this jutsu lets the user teleport instantly to any location they've marked with a seal. No hand signs, no chakra charging, just blink, and you're behind your enemy, already finishing the fight. Minato used this jutsu like a boss during the Third Great Ninja War, taking down entire squads before they could even blink. Later, he used it to save Konoha during Kurama's attack, and again to counter Obito's Kamui, which is crazy, because Kamui is basically broken too. Flying Thunder. God is the ultimate mix of speed, strategy, and surprise. It's not flashy like Rosengon. You don't see it coming. You don't react, you just lose. What's really insane is that it doesn't rely on any Kekkei Genkai. Anyone could theoretically learn it if they had a genius-level IQ, battle instinct, and reflexes faster than Wi-Fi. So, basically only Minato. 10 Puppet Collection. Let's give some love to Granny Chiyo, who proved that you don't need a Rinnegan or tailed beast to go hard in battle. Her trump card? The 10 Puppet Collection of Chikamatsu. These aren't your average puppets. Each one has a deadly ability. Sword strikes, poison mist, chakra blades, you name it. Together they can dismantle an entire fortress. Yeah, not a tent, a fortress. Chiyo used them in her fight against Sasori, her own grandson, which was both powerful and heartbreaking. These puppets were once the most feared weapons in Tsunogakure's history, and she brought them back just to stop the monster she helped raise. What made this technique so effective was Chiyo's control. She didn't just puppet one or two. She handled 10 at once with flawless coordination. Like some deadly chakra-powered puppet DJ. She used them not only to counter Sasori's 100 puppets, but also to protect Sakura, forming one of the most unexpectedly badass tag teams in the series. 100 puppets. And speaking of Sasori, let's talk about his ultimate move, the 100 puppet jutsu. Sasori turned himself into a puppet, collected the corpses of powerful shinobi, and turned them into weapons. Then he pulled out a scroll and summoned an entire army of 100 puppets, each armed to the teeth with deadly tricks. This jutsu sounds like a guaranteed win, right? Quantity over quality. Just overwhelm the enemy. But here's the twist. More doesn't always mean better. Controlling that many puppets spreads Sasori's attention thin. And when you're fighting Granny Chiyo and Sakura, one mistake means game over. Chiyo's 10 puppets were crafted by the original master, and their precision and power outclassed Sasori's army of mass-produced models, like comparing hand-forged blades to dollar store plastic swords. Still, Sasori's technique deserves respect. He could control 100 puppets by himself, while most puppet users struggled with 2 or 3. That alone is nuts. It was terrifying, it was massive, and it showed just how far Sasori had fallen, from a puppet master to a puppet of his own obsession. Purple Lightning. And finally, let's close with something modern. Purple Lightning, the jutsu that proves Kakashi Hatake refuses to be benched, even after losing his Sharingan. After the war, Kakashi couldn't use Chidori anymore. Without the Sharingan, it was too fast for even him to control. So what did he do? Retire quietly? Nah. He created a new version, Purple Lightning. This jutsu channels chakra into a stable, controllable form of lightning, still powerful, still fast, and with the bonus of multi-target potential. It's not as flashy as Chidori, but it's smarter, safer, and more flexible. Kakashi used Purple Lightning in Boruto, proving he's still top tier, even without dojutsu hacks. And honestly, it fits his character perfectly. Calm, precise, adaptable. He lost one of the greatest tools in his arsenal and just built a new one from scratch. Purple Lightning isn't about raw power, it's about evolution. Kakashi may not copy techniques anymore, but he's still the guy everyone else copies. Let's be honest, if losing a Sharingan turns you into a better ninja, you're on another level. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.